release your farm produce to the market, then it will be expensive. Then efficiency, productivity, boss. Another, inadequate access to credit. Mo po ning problema. Wala kay mautangan. Kung naman po yung mga mautangan, dako og interest. Kinsay ginapatay? Farmers. Although the government has several credit programs for the farmers, pero some of these programs are not successful. For example, the Department of Agriculture, for naku remember nga programs nila before nga pautang kang farmer, i-roll ang kwarta karon nga production yaha, kung makaginansya siya iuli ang kapital para lahi na po nga farmer ang maka-benefit, pero some of the farmers dili na ibalik ang ipahulam nga kwarta. So how can we expect that the other farmers can benefit from that program? May nga na losing, na nagansi, so di na ma-return ang capital. So saan na lang na ay mga credit facilities pero ang access, ang uban nga mga credit institution manginahanglan og collateral. Nya kinsa may collateral sa uban natong farmers, atong small farmers. So di sila access sa credit. So mato sa mga Bombay kanang mga 5-6 pa mga 5-6 nya 20%. And itong dito pud mi sa Kibawi, it's said to know that farmers dito is gapangutang sila, and then as I calculated 40% ang interest rate. So unsay iginansya ni farmer na dako ka siya bayaran with interest pa lang. So isa na ang problema. Next is inadequate investment in research. But nowadays, grabe ang researches nga ginahimo sa mga state colleges, universities, government agencies. But I think the problem here is on the extension of packaging these technologies, the result of these researches, and bring them all to the farmers. Pag mag-research, wala lang. Gi-publish. Mubasa ba nag-publication ang mga farmers nato? But mas maayo unta nga kini nga successful nga mga researches, then ilapat dalon dito sa mga mag-uuma, itudlo sa ilaha nga kini nga mga maayong pamaagi para mas epektibo ug efficient ang atong production. I don't know if that is happening. Next is ineffective extension system. So mo na tong delivery of technology to the farmers. Ang problema ron, for some na ko'y nangahibalan pod, mga nailhan, nga mo, they do this, I don't know if you have heard about uban nga mga extension or mga empleyado sa gobyerno, especially na yung mga technician, agricultural technician, nga gahimo o ingon ani mabasa ba? They do table travel. In terms of paper, then they will say that they go to this barangay para mag-train something, mag-visit sa mga farmers. But then, in reality, wala. Sa paper, nag-travel. In reality, to sila balay. Nag-ML. Natulog. Nanlaba. That is reality. That is reality nga. Unta, kamo puhon, dili munta mo mag-ingon ana. Kana bang the point there is, kabalutang mali, dili unta na to i-tolerate. Now, let's try to make ourselves as agent of change, catalyst of change. And kung unsay nakita nato nga sayop sa mga nag-una sa tua, sa mga kauban nato, then let's try nga dili mo follow Dako naman ta. We have the will to decide. And let's try to choose to do the right choose one. Okay? Remember, we have someone up there watching our actions, watching our activities. Remember, kini nga mga empleyado gasweldo, and then wala nagtarong og trabaho. So it's a no-no. It's a big no. Then past policy biases against agriculture in favor of manufacturing. So this factor, or this reason, is about programs that benefits more the manufacturing industry. Just like budget. Ang agriculture, ikapila lang ba sa budget? Pila ra ba ang nahatag sa agriculture nga budget? Pero sa DTI, sa other nga mga sa other nga mga departments, policies. Example, the rice tariffication last year nga issue, which we will cover in the next nga mga chapters. Daghan ang mga rice farmers nga nag-aray with that particular policy. So isa po na that isa po na nga mga rason why we have low productivity in the country. Okay. So for us to improve in our crop production, dapat natin tutukan. We need to increase productivity. So increasing output with the same level of inputs, tarong lang nga pagkagamit. Much better if we can increase our output. Kini dili kayo increasing output from increased level of input, okay ni siya. Pero mas okay if we increase our output using the same level of input, meaning mas efficient, iwas wastage, efficient kapag ka-utilize sa mga resources. But the best would be if we can increase our output from the lower level of inputs, especially if we just select the right and the most appropriate quality of inputs. Then somehow we can increase productivity in our crop production. Another thing is maximizing land utilization. So we can maximize land utilization by doing diversified farming. Now you don't just focus with a single commodity. 'Di ba? Nakita isa sa mga classmates ninyo agribusiness. They're doing diversified farming. They're doing similar to urban gardening. And in their land, they plant and they produce different commodities. I think their farm is now an API learning site. So nice ilang area. So aside from diversified farming, you can also do sequential cropping of annual crops. Sequential cropping meaning there should be sequence. Dili pwede nga rice or corn. Pwede ka mag-rice, legumes, pwede pa rice, legumes, rice na pod, or corn, legumes. Bali karon nga cropping, corn ka. Pagka next cropping season, kana nga land, gamiton nimo for legume production. Sunod na pod, corn production na pod. There is a sequence. Isang manggod nga advantage is that para dili pod ka paspas ma-deplete imong yuta ang quality sa imong yuta. Another thing pod is para pod ang imong weeds is dili sila mag-dominate. Lahi nga crops man imong gitanom, and also dili pod maka-infest og todo ang imong mga insekto and other mga peste. So in that way you can somehow maximize land utilization. Example pod sa imong corn production manggaling, pwede man sa imong border tam na nimog fruit trees, di ba? Or kung naggoma ka, you can also do intercropping. Pwede ka magtanom og unsa kay pwede nga crop nga pwede nga shade loving. Sana all love. So kung gamay pa imong goma, pwede nimo tamnan og lutya, pwede nimo tamnan og luya, di ba? Na-maximize ang gamit sa yuta. Strip cropping. Strip cropping, meaning kung na kay area, kung na kay area, so you produce by strip. So kana nga strip is one commodity, kana siya diha. Then another strip, kana siya pila na siya katudling ha. That is another commodity. So pwede po ni even sa bakilid, pwede na ito nabuhaton. So then intercropping, ito akong i-mention kaganina, that along the furrows sa itong corn production or atong sugarcane production, then we can plant another commodity para masulit na ito ang production. So key players in crop production. So in terms of banana, you're familiar with these companies, diba? You have the Tadeco. Tadeco is they are in Davao. So that is Tagum Development Corporation, if I'm not mistaken. Dole na diri sa nasa Cotabato, na din sa Bukidnon. Sumifer nasa Davao, nasa Tua. In terms of banana, Tadeco. We have also the Lapanday here in Bukidnon, they deal with pineapple. So MKDC, they are bringing the they are bringing the brand Chiquita abroad. Pag-abot dito Japan, ang pangalan sa ilahang sa pinya sa MKDC or sa Unifruity is ilang brand name is Chiquita. So for pineapple, we have Del Monte, Dole, Unifruity, Sumifru, Lapanday. For palm oil, medyo problema lang palm oil, no? Kay wala man ang walay gapalit din sa Bukidnon. I-travel pa nato padulong travel pa nato pa Cagayan. But in Bukidnon, kung palm oil, before daghan to sa Don Carlos, I don't know if daghan pa ba din somewhere in Impasugong, daghan dito sa mga Agusan. Mangga, so daghan dito sa Visayas. Okay, now, so ingredients of a competitive and sustainable production: crops must be market lead. There should be good access to new technologies, good choice of seeds and planting materials, good choice in appropriate irrigation and drainage system, access to cost-effective farm inputs and their proper application, and effective crop husbandry, pagtatiman. So impact of government policies. So taxes on outputs and inputs. So mas mayo kay agricultural produce not imposed with tax. So that's a good thing. Pero for process ng mga agribusiness products na. So the greater the tax, so the mas mag-decrease ato ang profitability. Overvaluation of currency. But if magdako ang value sa peso, and then di ba ga-export ta og banana, coconut, pineapple. So for those companies, mubos ilahang income, ilahang sales. So it can affect government infrastructure spending. If there would be, good thing that this build program by our government, so the more infrastructure, especially farm to market roads, irrigation facilities, then the more our farmers can benefit. And if there is a good monetary and fiscal facilities, especially for credit, then it would be better. The government also ensure adequate institutional support is provided in different areas, especially in expansion and revitalization of productivity programs. So another is quick response or intervention to calamity and disaster situation, and in irrigation. So basically, if we're going to analyze, the actions of the government has direct and indirect impact to the field of agriculture, has direct and indirect impact to agribusiness. So basically, these impacts might be positive and these impacts might be negative. So that's why it's very crucial for the government to weigh things, uh, to balance everything, that no sector should be degraded, or no sector should be deprived in the expense of the other sector. So although yes, we recognize the government is trying, but somehow in the process, in the system, na lang yung mga problema. May mga problema nga there are several services nga dili gid kakalapat. Okay. Farm to market roads and related infrastructure. So the bigger the budget, the more farm to market roads, then the better. Agriculture research and development. Uh, Actually, the government has very big budget for research and development, but then again, ang pag deliver ani sa mga concerned nga mga community. Extension, education and training, rural finance. Later on po, no, ato i-discuss ang BMBE Act of 2003, the BMBE, the Barangay Micro BM Business Enterprise Act. Nga, this law is also trying to address this rural finance na issue. Then another thing is on food price stabilization. Later on, we will be talking about the in the next chapters. We will be talking about price tarification law. So ato po ding ma-tackle about food price stabilization, like the government. Di ba na this NFA rice is being used by the government para ma-stabilize ang presyo sa rice, para ang mga commercial rice is dili makapabulhot o pataas sa ilahang presyo. Then private sector participation and empowerment of farmers. So that is for crop production. Then let's proceed to livestock production. So livestock production in the Philippines comprises of swine, cattle, carabao, goat, and dairy. But among these animals, swine dominates the livestock sector. So, siguro gani sa inyong mga balay is nagyon mo'y buhi ng mga baboy. So, and Filipinos are pork eaters, di ba? Although naay mga different groups nga dili kakaon og baboy, but then still swine dominates the livestock sector in the country. And in the Philippines, we are short on beef supply. That's why if you can notice, no, sa market, mahal gid ang presyo sa karne sa baka. O di pa siya mahal siya kay we have short man in supply. So what happened to the price? If we have shortage or we have low supply, so the price will tend to increase. Then domestic meat consumption in the Philippines is relatively low. Siguro for the reason that because of high price, not everyone can afford. Diba? In reality is, o ba na lang, galugaw. Diba? In poor areas, in squatters, ingon ana is, talag sa na makakaon og karne. It's because it is quite costly. Diba? Then, farm structure in the Philippines. Hog production in the Philippines is primarily backyard or small-scale operation. Naray lima, kanagani ng lima na pulo. Usually na isa, duha, pang birthday or pang income para sa pamilya. That is the very common setup in terms of hog production in the country. It's more on backyard production. Or uban nga paligid-ligid ra des lapok. So the following are the key players in swine or hog production. So we have the Monterey Farm, kanang then they have the Monterey shop, diba? So they do this forward integration. They have their farm and they also have their own marketing outlet, sila Monterey store. So they are doing this vertical integration. Formosa Farm, Universal Rubina, Nenita Farm, Holiday Farm, and some other swine farm. So major cattle feedlot operators, Del Monte Philippines, Monterey Farms, Delco Farms. Diba? If you can still remember that cattle, most of our cattle are being sourced through importation. So key result in production management. So in terms of livestock. So first we have two. First is we have the breed, and second is proper nutrition and optimum cost. So if you engage into livestock production, swine, goat, cattle production, make sure to choose the right breed. Diba? We have advanced technologies in breeding. So there are different breeds available. So if you are going to raise livestock animals, make sure that you choose the best breed if possible. And proper nutrition. So let's provide the nutrition that our animal needs. Okay, para mas paspas ilang pagdako, then dako mas bugat, mas dako taghalin. 'Di ba? At optimum cost. Dili lang nga bahog lang ng bahog nga wala tay basihan. Okay. Next, poultry production. So the poultry industry in the Philippines is relatively well developed. Diba? It's poultry production in the Philippines is progressive. Okay, the integrators import grandparent stocks which they grow in their own farms. And parent stock is reared by contract breeders, which we already discussed in ang pamaagi in input subsystem in the previous chapter. Diba? Then after mga 35 to 40 days, then the chicken will be picked up gikan sa contract grower, then dalo na din sa ilahang para i-slaughter sa ilahang facility. Okay. So here, the key players include Swift. You're familiar with them. We also have, diba, the Bounty Fresh, Vita Rich, San Miguel Foods, Pure Foods, First Farmers Corporation, Bounty Fresh, akong di-mention, key players. And the key result areas, unsa atong mga dapat bantayan para mo succeed in poultry production, then again, it must be market breed. Unsang breed ang gusto sa market, then provide it. A good breed that will provide the optimum growth, dito mga stunted, and proper nutrition based on cost, competitive mix of feeds and feed ingredient. So same lang in livestock and poultry production, that you need to focus on the breed nga imong i-raise. Make sure nga dili siya sakitin, dili siya dali masakit, paspas iyang pagtubo, and then focus on the nutrition, iyang pagkaon. So provide the proper nutrition, proper feed for your poultry or livestock animals. And of course, you need to include good housing and sanitation to avoid disease infestation sa imong mga kayupan. Kay kung hugaw, dahil ng mga kagaw, sakit. Hugaw, suko silingan, gubot. O, di ba? So, ato na siya nga tutukan. So, that ends our online lecture for Unit 3. And in your notes, you can please go basa and try to study the data on the performance of these different poultry and livestock animals. Okay. And those information will be used in your midterm exam later on. So I hope that you learned something about our discussion in this session, no? And I hope that napaynananaw sa ako at up to this point. So sa mga nilahutay, sa mga mistay, sa mga wala ni biya, akong kinasing-kasing nga pasalamat sa inyong unong sa ako ang pag-discuss dinhi. So I appreciate sa inyong time nga og effort og sa inyong resources nga gigamit para lang nga matiwas ni nga lecture ug unta inyong pagyapon ko nga ubanan sa lecture nako sa uban pa nga mga chapter. Okay, so I hope that you are going to work out your activity and your quiz for this chapter. So if you have concern, then kindly comment lang dayon po dayon sa tong Google Classroom, and kindly comment below dinhi nga video. So I hope na nakantag na tunan for in this session. So take good care, everyone. May God bless you all, and see you in our next video. Thank you and good day.